Welcome to today's Explainer. It's Friday, July 3rd, 2026, and wow, we are right in the middle of some truly massive shifts in wealth, infrastructure, and global power playing out right before our eyes. We're talking intense new rivalries in artificial intelligence, a literal battle brewing for control of satellite internet, sudden shockwaves in the financial markets, and some deeply historic regulatory crackdowns. My goal today is to cut right through the noise and give you a structured, clear breakdown of exactly how the tech landscape is being disrupted today.
Here is our roadmap for this explainer. We are going to cover 1. The global AI race, 2. Competition in orbit, 3. AI implementation, 4. Bitcoin's comeback, and finally, 5. Regulating big tech. Okay, let's dive right into section 1, the global AI race, taking a look at Zcode taking on the American giants. So literally just yesterday, July 2nd, the Chinese company ZI, which you might remember as Zippo AI, officially entered the AI coding wars with a brand new tool called Zcode. It's powered by their proprietary GLM 5.2 language model, and you can go try it right now for free across Mac, Windows, and Linux. Now think about the established American giants for a second. Tools like Cursor, GitHub Copilot, and Claude Code, they all hover right around that standard $20 a month mark. Well, ZI is coming in super aggressively here. Zcode's paid version starts at roughly $16.20 a month. They are actively trying to undercut the market, and they're claiming their GLM 5.2 model performs right alongside the very best models currently out there. For developers and entrepreneurs, the takeaway here is absolutely critical. This is a massive signal that global competition in AI is no longer just an American game. China has officially stepped up as a highly serious competitor. Now, whether Zcode's lower price actually means a compromise on quality, well, real-world testing over the next few months will give us that answer. But for the industry as a whole, this means faster innovation, downward pressure on pricing, and way more choices worldwide. Moving from the software on our screens to the sky above us, let's look at Section 2, Competition in Orbit, Amazon versus Starlink. For years now, Elon Musk's Starlink has enjoyed a really dominant first-mover advantage in low Earth orbit. But Amazon's Project Cooper just announced they are finally ready to enter the battlefield. 396. That is how many satellites Amazon currently has deployed. Now, compared to Starlink's massive constellation of over 11,000 satellites, sure, that might look incredibly modest. But Amazon has officially stated that this number is totally sufficient to begin providing acceptable network coverage. Let's see how this builds across their rollout timeline. While they only have those 396 satellites up right now, Amazon intends to launch its commercial satellite internet service by mid-2026. That is just months from now. And their long-term goal? Deploying over 3,200 satellites. Look, they definitely face huge hurdles in launch logistics compared to SpaceX's incredibly efficient reusable Falcon 9 rockets. But Amazon brings two things to the table: unparalleled financial power and the massive existing infrastructure of AWS. If they can integrate Kuiper directly with AWS for enterprise customers, they could carve out a massive and highly profitable niche. Pivoting back down to Earth, we hit Section 3, AI implementation gets real, specifically focusing on the brand new Microsoft Frontier company. Just yesterday, Microsoft signaled a massive change in strategy by launching this new entity, and they are backing it with a massive $2.5 billion initial investment and an absolute army of 6,000 specialists. So the crucial point is this: Microsoft is finally realizing that merely selling AI licenses isn't enough anymore. With services spanning from strategic consulting to custom architecture, employee training, performance optimization, and robust security and privacy, they are basically stepping in like a massive consulting firm. Companies are out here spending millions on AI tools like Copilot, but they're struggling to actually integrate them into their legacy workflows. The Microsoft Frontier company is designed to bridge that exact gap between just buying AI and actually utilizing it to drive real business value. I absolutely love this quote from the tech analysis team because it just perfectly captures this entire shift. They said, "The future of the tech industry belongs to companies that not only build good products, but also help customers succeed with those products." Microsoft is pivoting to guarantee that success because they know if their enterprise clients see real, tangible results, they are going to keep on buying. All right, next up, let's shift to the financial tides with Section 4. Bitcoin's volatile comeback and its sudden surge above $62,000. If anyone thought the crypto market was entering some quiet, long-term bear phase, well, yesterday certainly proved them wrong. Bitcoin staged an explosive comeback.
surging from a 21-month low of $57,735 to well over $62,000 in under 48 hours. To really understand how it moved that fast, you have to understand the mechanics of a short squeeze. Basically, when Bitcoin's price began to tick up, partly driven by long-term investors seeing a buying opportunity, along with some positive news around ETF approvals, it trapped traders who had actually bet on the price going down. To prevent even further losses, these short traders had to frantically buy Bitcoin to close their positions. That panicked buying acts exactly like rocket fuel, driving the price up even higher. In this rapid rally, a staggering $500 million in short positions were entirely destroyed.
And you know the saying, a rising tide lifts all boats? It was not just Bitcoin. Ethereum jumped 7.2%, Solana surged nearly 10%, and XRP climbed a massive 11.5%. Cardano wasn't far behind at 8.3%. In total, this squeeze added over $100 billion to the total crypto market cap practically overnight. It is a very vivid reminder to investors everywhere that severe, unpredictable volatility remains a core, undeniable feature of this entire market. Finally, let's move to our fifth power shift, Section 5, regulating big tech, looking at new rules, big fines, and a rather unique proposal. As these tech companies gain unprecedented power, governments and society at large are pushing back. This staggering number, $4.7 billion, represents the European Union Court of Justice's final, unappealable antitrust fine against Google. This was originally imposed back in 2018. The EU successfully argued that Google used its Android operating system to illegally restrict competition by basically forcing smartphone manufacturers to pre-install Chrome and Google Search. Now, keep in mind, Google generates over $280 billion annually, so they'll survive the fine. But the real impact here is the legal precedent it sets. The EU is proving, once and for all, it actually has the teeth to take on big tech's anti-competitive behaviors. Meanwhile, over in the US, we're seeing a completely different approach to the wealth generated by tech monopolies. Reports have recently surfaced that OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman is proposing to donate 5% of OpenAI's equity to a US sovereign wealth fund. At current valuations, we are talking about a roughly $4 billion donation. The goal here? To ensure the financial benefits of the AI boom are actually shared with the general public. But there's one massive logistical hurdle with this plan. The United States doesn't actually have a national sovereign wealth fund to receive it. And this brilliantly illustrates the geopolitical reality of that entire proposal. Consider the world's largest sovereign wealth funds. Norway is sitting on over $1.4 trillion. China has $1.2 trillion. The UAE and Kuwait have hundreds of billions each. The US? They are starting from literal zero. Whether Altman's proposal is a genuine act of social responsibility or just a really clever PR move to deflect criticism about AI monopolies, it absolutely forces a conversation that we need to have. Which brings us to our final thought for today. With AI fundamentally rewriting the global economy, with companies like Amazon launching private infrastructure into space, and crypto moving hundreds of billions of dollars in hours, we are left pondering this really profound question. How can we ensure that the massive profits from this technological revolution actually benefit all of society, rather than just a handful of private shareholders? Keep that question in mind as you watch these trends unfold in the coming months. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.